Shawn Lamb here for Streaming Media Producer. I'm with John from Canon, and we're having a look at the new Canon XA25. John, what can you tell me about this little camera here?
You know, it's probably the most exciting product that we've got at the show. Obviously, with all of our Cine EOS, Cine Prime lenses, all of the really great filmmaking tools that we're introducing. Oddly enough, one of the most interesting products we have is our smallest camcorder yet. This is a successor to the XA10,
yes,
which was an extremely successful camera. What we've done with this camera is taken the XA10 to another level. We've offered the camera in two flavors, an XA20 as well as an XA25. The XA25 adding the HD SDI output.
Now I'm hearing you right, HD SDI output on a camcorder of this size.
SDI and a camera this size.
What frame rates does the HD SDI output?
The camera offers the ability to record up to 60p with a 60p output. That allows obviously any type of ramping or higher frame rate that you want to use for slow motion playback. We've combined those features with some really extraordinary features in a small camera. Probably the most noteworthy is the fact we have a 20:1 optical zoom in a camera this size.
And this is a straight f1.8 zoom through the entire way, it doesn't ramp down.
At the full magnification telephoto, we lose about a stop. It goes to 2.8.
Oh, it goes to 2.8, okay. In terms of the HD SDI output, can I select different frame rate outputs? Can I say I want 30p or 60i to support video switchers that don't support 60p?
Absolutely, yes, that capability. It's not an input, it's an output only, but we do have the ability to vary the frame rate output.
Sensor size, how large?
We're just a hair larger than a 1/3 inch. It's a 1.28, 1/2.8 inch.
Okay, and this is a single CMOS sensor?
This is a single CMOS sensor. We actually have a look around on this sensor. It's a 2.8 megapixel sensor capturing a 2.2 megapixel 1920-1080 frame. We use that slightly oversized sensor area so that we can use what we call dynamic image stabilization. It's the ability to combine optical stabilization with an EIS technology that gives us the ability to cover any kind of movement in a wide angle position. One of the issues that an optical only stabilization system has been unable to do. So the combination of those two give us this extraordinary stabilization in a 20:1 magnification camera.
I'm currently shooting with a large sensor video camera, and one of the things that I lack on that is any image stabilization whatsoever. So I know when I'm going to be trying this guy out, it's going to be a treat because it'll be like operating with a Steadicam or some type of stabilization rig.
One of the most fascinating components of introducing this camera to a lot of the media has been that there's been such a large focus on large sensor cameras over the last few years that there has been almost a forgetfulness of the ease of use of a smaller sensored camera. Anybody that's pulled focus on a full frame sensor can appreciate the fact that a camera like this gives us just absolutely foolproof autofocus and an extraordinary depth of field capability for so many wide variety of sports and nature and the types of videography that these cameras are so well suited for. I think Canon has definitely put a focus and an emphasis on this camera being a film shooter friendly camera. We're seeing features built into the camera in addition to the high magnification optical capability. The fact that we've put a circular 8-blade iris in the lens gives us that beautiful bokeh that allows us to mix this video with literally C300 quality video. We're seeing a definite emphasis from Canon in trying to produce what would be a great entry-level camera for a young filmmaker or someone that really wants to get involved in the technology. And at $2,000 or $2,500 for the HD SDI version, just an extraordinary camera.
What type of codec is supported within the camera, and what kind of memory do we record onto?
The camera is really extraordinary in the context that it's a dual slot SD card technology. We have given you the option, given the user the option of shooting either an ABC HD codec or an MP4 codec. So for those iPad editors, we can drop this directly into their iPad, iPhone, any kind of QuickTime compliant device with no transcoding, no issues. we're giving the user the ability to choose between those two codecs. I can actually record ABC HD in one slot, MP4 in the other slot as a backup. I can do both in MP4, both in ABC HD, so I'm giving the user this extraordinary versatility.
What's the highest bit rate that we can support on here?
We can go up to a 35 megabit per second rate in the MP4 mode, 28 megabit in the ABC HD.
And that would be 60p on both those examples there. Yeah. All right. Now I see on the front here, there's a little mention of Wi-Fi.
How about that?
Yeah. How about that?
It's such a fun camera to show people because the list of things just keep going on and on. What we've been able to do with the camera is employ the Wi-Fi capability that we've put in some of our still cameras, so that I have the ability not only to upload files to an FTP, but I also have the ability to have full camera control. So I can move these files to a cloud, I can control the camera with a Wi-Fi control with an app. We've literally made the camera fully compatible with any type of remote access capability.
What about for live webcasting? What would be a workflow for that if I wanted to live stream with this camera?
You know, the fact that I can run the signal directly to the cloud is a post function. It's not a real time or a live streaming function. So it would be something that you would do in steps as opposed to real time, but certainly would avail itself to that very well. The fact that we have that option and codec capability allows us to really compress that file down. I should mention that we give you variable compression rates on the camera, all the way down to a 3 megabit per second 640-360 frame. So if I want to run something to the web and I want it to be as quickly uploaded and captured as possible, I can do so with that 3 megabit per second rate.
All right, well thank you very much, John. This has been Shawn Lamb at NAB 2013. We're at the Canon booth, and this is the XA25. Thank you.
Thank you, Shawn. Pleasure. Thanks.